Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, my music cut off. Hold on, I'll be right back, y'all. We got to have this Christmas music right. Welcome. It's doing some crazy stuff.
Are we live in there?
We live, y'all. We live.
We are live.
I done dropped the ball. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Mr. Eric Clifton is not with us this evening, so and I'm supposed to be controlling the music, and I'm not doing very well with the music, y'all. But we're gonna do very well with tonight's training. Welcome to What's the Word Wednesday. Man, we got a special guest in the building, right? Taking the place of Mr. Eric Clifton. Mr. Clifton, get your rest on. You all ready for some Christmas information? Are you ready for Christmas? How many of y'all ready for Christmas? You see, I got the Christmas spirit with the island behind me, up top to my left. Maybe you're right. We got, go ahead and introduce yourself, gentlemen.
Who's first? I can't even see where. Wait,
From my left to my right, right to my left, don't matter. Daryl Jenkins, Two Jackets.
I'm over here with technical issues. I got windows moving around. Guys, it's Daryl Two Jackets Jenkins in the building for another edition of What's the Word Wednesday. It's the final What's the Word Wednesday for 2023, guys. Get your teams on.
And none other than he doesn't need to introduce himself. This gentleman, listen to this. This dude glows in the dark, walks on water. I mean, comes in on a sled. He don't even need reindeers. This gentleman is our fearless leader. Go on, introduce yourself, sir.
But let me back up for a minute. You know, when you say left to right, you know we can't see what you see.
I know, but I'm right to left. I just what I'm seeing right there. Let's go.
You definitely the holiday spirit. You must have had a party before you came on here or something. Well, great evening, everyone. Well, good morning, good afternoon. I guess it depends on what time you see this particular broadcast. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and watch the replay. But my name is Preston Scott, better known as P. Scott, P. Diddy. They call me all kinds of things out here in these business streets. 4-star director in here to help to ensure you all are having success.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, again, we thank you, sir, for taking your time out on this very, like Mr. Jenkins said, this very last What's the Word Wednesday of the year. And we got some powerful, powerful information to deliver to you all. Make sure that, again, like you said, if you're watching this on replay, type in hashtag replay. Also, right now, while you're watching, while you're listening, text your business partners, have them chime in tonight so we can all have a very Merry Christmas. What's the Word Wednesday? And so I'm going to step out of the way for a second and allow let me say hello to, if you're brand new, seeing this for the first time, welcome, all brand new business partners. Man, we just pour our hearts out each and every first and third Wednesday at this time of 7:30. Don't miss the next one. It'll be next year, but don't miss it. Mr. Scott, if you could, sir, just jump right in here and just give us some announcements, up and coming announcements that we have, sir.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Well, tonight, immediately following this particular edition of What's the Word, we actually have a special edition tonight of our travel business webinar. Okay, so at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you want to go ahead and jump on the link www.platinumwednesdays with an S, platinumwednesdays.com. And guess what? You all want to be in for a treat on tonight, but you don't want to be there alone. You want to make sure you get your guests on tonight, simply because they're having the holiday edition of our business presentation on tonight on Zoom. And you're going to have Deborah Bond, Imani Scott, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be presenting the business on your behalf. And guess what? You get a chance to bring your special beverage of choice, whether it be an adult beverage, a bottle of water, or whatever you decide tonight. They're going to have a presentation tonight, and you'll get a chance to celebrate the holidays. But get your guests on simply because they're going to get a chance to see the business from a different perspective. It's not going to be the traditional or standard arena. So it's a great way for them to kind of get to see who we are, get to see us let our hair down. You know, all my hair going to be down. But get on there 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, PlatinumWednesdays.com. And then also, we just found out, ladies and gentlemen, well, first and foremost, we're not having any Game Plan Lives. Game Plan Live is done for the year. So we'll see you all on January the 7th for the first Game Plan Live of 2024. All right, because you got Christmas Eve coming up, and then you got New Year's Eve right after that on the next 2 following Sundays. However, we just found out on January the 1st, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we're having the State of the Planet. State of the Planet featuring CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Andy Cawthon, and CEO, Mr. Donald Bradley. They're going to be giving the State of the Planet. And I can assure you, if you're going to be a part of that, you want to get on that early. All right, because they've invited the UK, they've invited the entire United States, they've invited the entire planet. So you want to jump on that Zoom early on Monday morning, January the 1st. And speaking of January the 1st, that will be the first day or the opening day for our bronze and silver boot camp. Bronze and silver boot camp. So if you're a bronze builder, silver builder, you're going to be reporting front and center to me on Monday morning, January the 1st, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're not bronze yet, and you're close, all right, or if you want to go ahead and knock bronze out, you got about 10 days, right? It can be done. You got about 10 days to go ahead and go bronze, right? If you've sponsored 1 or 2 individuals already, hey, let's knock this out, right? Let's go ahead and become bronze so you can be a part of that bronze and silver boot camp. And then also, if you are eligible, meaning you've sponsored at least 2 ITAs between December 1st and January 31st, okay? December 1st, January 31st, you'll have access to our up-and-coming social media secret society. And then there's some other amazing things that are coming up. So make sure you're plugged in, right? Stay plugged into this group. Stay plugged into our other groups and the groups that your directors have for you all. Watch your emails, watch your phones, watch your text messages. Because let me say this, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Lillard. You all know that the first quarter of the year is builders season. So some of you, if you just got started within the last 6 months, you're going to see a speed take place starting in January. We're going to move pretty quickly. All right. So you want to make sure you're plugged in so that you don't miss anything. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's definitely an honor and privilege to have you on here with us on this evening. Thank you for those announcements as well. Before we jump in, some quick announcements. Who do we have with us on tonight? Got to see here, Shauna Marsh, welcome. Renee Hauser, Ron K. Brown, welcome. Brenda Venable, Reese Johnson, and LaCheryl Goodine. Welcome, Cheryl. Directorship in the building. So we're going to go ahead and just get started with tonight's training. And what we're talking about tonight is moving forward in 2024, getting prepared. Mr. Joe Jenkins said we getting focused, getting revved up for 2024. We want to close this year out strong, though. Like some of us are in a daze, right? Holidays, not holidays, but holidays, right? You want to come out of that holidays and stay focused all the way to the end of the year. But we're going to jump right in here and talk about some things that we can do to get focused for 2024. And as I mentioned before, we call it plan, do, review, right? You plan your year, right? You review your year and you do the year, right? Excuse me, you plan, do, review. So right now, we all should be reviewing our year and getting revved up for 2024. And so I'm going to jump right in, Mr. Daryl Jenkins, some things that you're doing to get you prepared for 2024, sir.
That's good. Mr. Scott had everybody doing a report card, right? You talked about plan, doing review. So reviewing your year in its totality, looking at all things, not just activity, but also like finances, assessing where you are, or better yet, did you evaluate and maybe hit your personal goals that you set for yourself and your organization specifically, right? Looking at that overall, we had a goal to be the next 3-star organization in June of 2023. And that did not happen for, a number of obvious reasons, right? So right now I'm reassessing it. I'm looking at who's going to be the next 1-star director. What is that work going to look like? Where are the new people who are committed to helping to move the organization and creating a nucleus of new blood that we can work with to create some duplication So that's pretty much what my focus is. The work, the activity, looking at it from a holistic standpoint. A lot of times, people are looking at it from their personal standpoint, especially if you're building an organization. You got to think holistically as a leader. You got to look at all things considered and try to figure out who your key players are and making those things happen. So for me, I'm looking at, where those people are.
I love that. I love that. And taking some good notes right here. You mentioned evaluate, nucleus and key players, right? Like we have to evaluate ourselves, right? So if we're not evaluating ourselves, how are we going to teach the team to evaluate themselves? So in this business about duplication, right? We're talking about team building tonight. So we got to evaluate. If you're brand new, right? So you're just follow the leader right now, right? Follow the leader. And you want to find a leader that you trust and following to help you become successful in your business. But you got to evaluate. And then nucleus, key players, we're looking for a core people, three to four people that's core that you can say, you know what? These are the people that are going to run with me. We understand that everybody wants to become a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star director, right? But for the ones that are looking towards that, that's going to be your nucleus, right? And if, again, I love what Mr. Scott says all the time, if you're booking travel, wonderful. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn how to book travel, save time and money while we're booking travel. So, Mr. Scott, what you got for us, sir, on getting focused for 2024?
It all starts with a couple things there, Mr. Roger Lillard. What were you saying? And I'm speaking to everybody who's listening. What were you saying around this time last year? Are you singing the same song that you sang last year? Is it about to be, oh man, I mean, what 2023 is for me, right? What we gonna do in 2022, right? We're about to have fun in 2021, right? We say all these things. Okay, well, I'm getting more in 2024, and it's become like a lifestyle cliche, where we get to this point of the year, and all of a sudden we've sprinkled this magic fairy dust over our businesses, over our health, over our life, over our relationships, over our spiritual relationships, whatever it is, and then we feel that all of a sudden, when the clock strikes midnight on Monday morning, and my God, it's a Monday too. Oh, I know some people that like. Oh, I'm great. It's already we're already looking for Mondays to start new things from a psychological perspective because it's the work week, if you will. And now Monday is the beginning of the year. I know some people think that when they wake up Monday morning, they're gonna be a superhero. But to me, it starts with today. It starts with right now. And if we take every single day, like, when we wake up, it's like happy new day. That we should be experiencing a happy new something every day, not necessarily a year. I'm excited that, God has given us the ability to go to another year, but what are we going to do tomorrow morning? What kind of difference are we going to make in our lives, in our business on tomorrow morning? And if we take every day and have that same, the happiest, for whatever reason, the happiest day, and I haven't done the statistics on this. I've just looking through my 40 plus 45. How old am I? My many years of life. What I've seen, it appears as if, aside from a person's birthday, the happiest day in their life is the first of the year. That's the happiest that most people are. That one day is happier than any other day except the day they were born, because it's newness. But if we can just kind of bottle that energy up, Mr. Lillard, Mr. Jenkins, bottle that energy up for every day, then at the end of the year, it's inevitable that we're going to have better grades, if you will, because we've taken every day serious, Mr. Lillard. So my goal to have an amazing 2024 is to have an outstanding tomorrow every day.
Those are straight nuggets he's dropping on you all. I'm telling you, and I wrote a couple of things down. And so you said, are we saying the same things last year, this year? And when you asked that question, it kind of sent the chill. I don't know about you, but I was like, wait a second, right? So, but if you really think about it, though, if we've been here longer than a year, if we're saying the same things that we're saying last year, this year, how are we going to have change? And I feel strongly that the most important thing is in the change, and whatever we saying that we're going to change in, is to have the word is discipline. And that's the number one word in our business. Like, we got to be disciplined. And, coming out of convention, I remember Mr. Bradley said, get your weight up, income up, get your weight down, not weight up, get your income up, weight down. So I've been riding the bike, my stationary. I went from 7 days a week down to 6 because I need to get these legs a break. I'll be 56 next month. And so my address or my email for gifts, I'll tell y'all that later. So January 23rd, though. But anyway, so long story short, though, what do you say? So we can't keep saying the same thing every year, but coming up with the same results. There's got to be a change, and the change is discipline. And then you said it starts with right now, Mr. Scott. I love that. Like, right now, like, we have to decide, why wait till the first of the year to start being disciplined and start making commitments in our business, right? Right now is the time to start in our business. So
think about this. How many people commit to something the first of the year and never stick with it? By the third of the year, it's already out the window, right? It's the same thing people do in their business. They commit to a goal. I want to get to goal builder. I want to be DIT. I want to be a director. I want to be an ambassador. And the next thing you know, it's the furthest thing from their mind, because something else has came in and derailed them from that goal that they had set. And now something else has far more priority than what they originally set for themselves to change their situation currently. So I think that, you mentioned being determined, but I think the other part of it is the level of consistency that one brings to that goal that they set for themselves. The reality is, while most of the people who are probably a part of this opportunity don't need it, it's not bad to have it. I mean, who wouldn't want to have an additional $4,000 a month on top of whatever it is that you bring home if you could do it, with ease, right? A lot of people are thinking so small-minded when it comes to the opportunity that it's not a priority to them to start building that thing year over year. We've been in this thing 7 years. This is the 8th year now. And looking at where we potentially could go, we've seen people in 2 years come in and hit 6 figures from home and higher. And here it is, we're 7 years in, still trying to scrap to get the 6 figures, because we need the backing of the people who are just as hungry as these individuals, but they're committed to the process. They see the vision long term. They understand that it is a legacy company, and they're looking to truly do something for their family instead of going and build a bunch of traditional businesses, which, if something happens to you, if your kids don't want to take over, or your family, that business is dead right along with you. So I would rather put my family in a position to say, here, listen, if you don't need it or don't want it, you still have it. I can will this to you. It's already set up. Already set up.
That's a nugget. You can will it to them. I love that. I've been in this industry for two decades. I've never seen a company that said, if you do this, like Daryl is saying, set your family up, right, for some legacy income. If you do this, you'll continue receiving this even after you're gone, right? And that's that directorship. That's becoming a director and be exactly committed to the process, Mr. Scott. I think you typed that, and one of y'all typed that.
That's not me. Okay. That's Brenda Venable.
Oh, that's Brenda. Okay, so that's the group. See, I'm normally the host, y'all, so I'm a rookie at this hosting. But guess what? We're gonna get it done today. So good stuff, Mr. Venable. So, so again, we have an opportunity. Everybody watching us tonight, if you build your business to a directorship organization, that's you going out and you find some folks that want to run with you and you grow the network to 100 people, you now have legacy income, right? The Planet Marketing Pledge. It's the most powerful thing that we have in this company, and any company that I've ever been with. That pledge is powerful. So let's talk about some more things to get focused on in 2024. And I'm writing some notes down here. I think that knowing before the year starts how much money you want to earn residually in your business. So we have passive and residual income in our business. And so we should know how much we want to make next year, and then have a game plan to get to that goal. So we're talking about in 2024 being focused and having a game plan to move forward in 2024. And I think if you don't know how much money you want to make, how are you going to be able to create income? There's not going to be no push to anything to push you or encourage you or inspire you to move towards it if you don't know how much money you want to make, whether it be an average of $200 a month or $2,000 a month, right? But you need to know. So how important is that, Mr. Scott, would you say, knowing, having the idea of what you want to earn in your business and a projection for your business in 2024?
Man, that's a lot to unpack there, because it's really it's imperative really to have goals and to have something to look toward, so that you can set up a game plan to achieve whatever those goals happen to be. Because if it's not, man, you're just kind of like a wandering generality instead of being a meaningful specific. So it's like if you don't have, where am I going? Why am I here? Where am I headed? And if we don't have a sense of direction, you just kind of be spinning around. So I love that, sir. Where now you can look, but the thing about this company, you can look at the compensation plan and decide a destination. You can go look at the income disclosure statement, get an idea about how many hours on average it takes for you to put into this business and at what level to be able to average what income. So if you're looking to get an extra $3,000 a month or extra $30,000 a year, it's not rocket science here, right? It's laid out in the compensation plan. So if you and we understand that there's the law of averages, where if you're reading the books that we ask you to read, you understand what the law of averages happens to be, and the base law of average is 10-1, simply meaning the average person, if you have 10 conversations in reference to this business, chances of you having one business partner is pretty high. On average, 10-1. So now we know, in order to become that next level, how many conversations do we need to have? How many people do we need to have in front of the information, in front of the presentation, right? Because some of y'all, when you say talk to people, some of y'all get all, it's like, oh my God, your liver start quivering. I got to have all these conversations. Well, here's the thing. When you understand what we do, that's the nature of our business, is to expose, and close. And again, the only reason why it ever feels funny, the only reason why it ever feels strange, is because we are focused more on the results than the activity. Because if you focus on the results, you won't do the activity. But if you focus on the activity, it'll produce the results. So we're sitting there like, oh my God, I got to have 10 conversations to get one business partner. But that one business partner can bring you 100. Right? That one business partner could be a Roger Lillard that brings over 500. It could be a Daryl Jenkins that brings over 400. That's close to 1,000 individuals with 2 conversations that I personally had. So don't look at the results, look and focus on the activity. Back to you, sir.
Wow. I'm sitting here taking some notes while both of you are talking. Mr. Scott, I don't know if you all know, he and I speak a lot, right? And he threw one of those 4-star director phrases out there. But so he be saying some 4-star director words, right? Meaningful specifics. Wait a second. I've never seen that one before, but we have fun. This business is fun, y'all. We got to have fun what we're doing. Travel is fun, but we're in a relationship business, and we built a relationship over time, including Mr. Daryl Two-Jackers Jenkins. So we have fun with this business, but it's got to be some meaningful specifics. Like, what specifics do you have for your business that's meaningful to you? Think about that. What's meaningful? Is your business priority, right? And so when you say people don't like having discussions, but they like having discussions about snowflake or snowfall. What is that? Power Empire, right? They don't talking. Did you see that? Oh my God, I can't believe she did that. And we have a discussions, and we be on the phone talking for 30, 40 minutes about snowfall. I keep saying snowflake because it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. So we talking about, I'm a clown, y'all. That's my personality is very bubbly. It's always like this. I can't help it. I like that fun. That's me. I'm a dolphin. Now, not first though, but anyway, let's continue on with the train here tonight, y'all. So then you said 10-1 conversations. So for every 10 people we talk to, you get one. That your ratio has begun. So if you matter of fact, if in the book Go Pro it says we should be meeting 2 new people every day. That's easy to do on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, PopTik, whatever those things are out there. You know, all we have to do is just meet people and share the opportunity. And it's not about, what they're thinking. It's about exposing, like Mr. Scott said. Daryl,
Roger, let me chime in here for a second because
I'm gonna
go back. I'm gonna go back one, and then I'm gonna come back to that second one. In terms of the meaningful specifics, I remember when I got started 7 years ago, myself and Erica Miller and the late Reggie Johnson, we had a goal. Like we set for ourselves, we wanted to get 3 new business partners a week. We had meaningful specifics that quantified how much income we were going to earn every single week. And that was the reason why we propelled relatively quick to go through the numbers to get to goal builder relatively quickly. It has taken some people years to get just 6 business partners because they're not talking to that ratio that Mr. Scott talked about, that 10 to 1, right? They're talking to 1 person every 10 months versus talking to 10 people every single day to kind of get the closure that they need to get where they got to get to, right? You got to go through the numbers to get those gems that you need to stand up your organization, those diamonds, if you will. So in terms of your meaningful specifics, you got to figure out. Some of us need an extra $500. So think about it. If you did $150 over 52 weeks, that's like what, $7,800 a month. That now has paid for your business overhead. Now it doesn't feel like it's a bill. We don't have to chase you a month for your $60, and you are far gone into profit mode at this point. So sometimes when you can quantify the goal with a financial aspect, you know that it's $50 a person that you bring into the business. So how many of those people, as Mr. Scott said, do you need to get you that $3,000 or that $30,000 a year, if you will? What does that work look like? You can easily find it. It's not hidden under a rock, but you got to know where to go look for it at.
I love it. I love it. A couple of things. I'm gonna say this because I didn't have time to write it down because you said it real fast. What does that work look like? That's a major nugget. Like if you're brand new right now, what the work looks like you for right now is whoever your coach is, follow your coach, your coach that's training you up to share with.
You muted yourself, sir.
I don't know how that happened. Woo! Christmas spirit. Anyway, so look, show the plan. Show the plan. We can't be fearful of sharing the opportunity. You know, there's a saying around the way where I grew up at is scared money don't make money. So we can't be afraid to share an opportunity that we know that other people are having success with, and because we're afraid to share it, we're not making no money. The only reason if you're not making money in this business because you're not sharing it with enough people. And if you're frustrated with any one person, that means you're not talking to enough people, right? And I like also, Daryl, you said 3 new partners a week. That was your goal. That's powerful. That's 12 a month, right? And so Mr. Scott knows I say this all the time. If everyone watching us right now, if we all just did 1 person a month for a year, everyone, we all be goal builders, right? Or goal builder plus. If we all just did 1 a month, if we just focus on 1 a month. But for me in 2024, I'm focusing on 4 a month. That's where I'm going. That's my goal is 4 a month, minimum 1 a week. That's my goal. So it's on tape, right? On video. This time I'm old school, time on tape. Man, 56 next month, y'all. Woo-wee! All right, so this is a great segue into actually what I want to share now. We're talking about moving forward, you all, in 2024, staying focused, right, and where we're headed to. And the next thing is what's going to help us stay focused in 2024 and be disciplined is creating a schedule. And we have a schedule for everything else that we do. The barbershop, the salon, we got a schedule to get our nails done. Girl, next week, I got to get my nails done because we got this going on. We got a schedule in our week. Like I said, watch Power Empire. We got a schedule to go to work. We got a schedule to take the kids to bike, basketball practice, softball, soccer, and I get it. So if our business is a priority, we got to figure out because we all got the same 24 hours in a day. We all got the same 24 hours. It's what you do within those 24 hours a day. So it might take you saying, you know what, this night I got some free time. Instead of watching television, instead of going to happy hour, I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna work my business. So this time next year in 2024, I have a better year. So I'm coming to you, Daryl, first. Let's talk about schedule, how important scheduling is for your business.
Man, you know what? That's a good thing. As I'm looking at, I have a digital calendar, a virtual one on my desktop that syncs with my Google Calendar and my phone, as well as a paper calendar, right? One that you can kind of flip over. But it is very important for you to, and I did a training on balancing both businesses, which talked about scheduling your time out and looking at those time variables. There are so many wasted hours of non-productive activity where we are watching those reality TV shows or we are on the phone, gossiping about things that have nothing to do with income or income producing activities. And I'm not saying that you can't watch your favorite TV show or the news or what have you, but if you minimize some of that time and figure out exactly how much time you want to commit to working your business per day, and then adjusting it in those pockets of time when you can, you will probably see better results. I think that a lot of us still haven't fathomed that we own a business. So our minds don't think like CEOs. We don't think about in the morning when we get up, how much money we want to make. When we go to bed at night, what do I need to do tomorrow to cross off my list? I know Imani Scott has a to-do list. Me, I used to have like a bunch of colorful, different color sticky notes, and they all meant something different. So they were all around my workspace so that I could remember what it was I needed to do, who I needed to call, what calls I needed to make, scheduling the three-way calls in my phone. So those are things that you got to figure out throughout your week. What does that work look like? And then how is that going to turn out once you've put that all into play? Because then you can kind of quantify the work and say, well, I've worked a total of 7 hours this week and I worked at doing these things. If you could go back and look at your schedule, you could see where you have some areas of improvement, right? You could see where there was a lack of activity, some things that you didn't pencil in that should have been there, or some things that you got some open spaces. I remember listening to another leader, and they said if there are blank spaces in your calendar, you need to do more. So,
that's strong. Blank. Say that again. Blank button in your calendar.
You have blank spaces in your calendar. You need to do
That's
more.
powerful. So think about this. What he's saying, everybody. That's a serious nugget. If your calendar is blank, right, spaces and you don't have your business as a priority in that space, then guess what? You can't complain about not booking any travel. You can't complain about not building a network. Those spaces should be filled with your business, right? Again, you're in business for yourself, not by yourself, but guess what? It's going to be harder to give support if you don't have that scheduling. Like, for instance, I do everything I can to make sure I'm on like Sunday night at 8 o'clock. That's game plan. That's on my schedule. Monday night, I do Mindset Mondays. That's on my schedule. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, right? Thursday night. We got so much going on in the business, but guess what? That's part of the business. And so there's no TV time there. There's no partying time there, right? So, but I love what you said. We must think like CEOs, man. Most people that are in this business or in this industry, they look at it as a way to save time and money on travel. That's great. So this consumer mindset, we have to reverse the consumer mindset and turn it into a business mindset. You're a business owner. You own your own business, right? And so we have to do that. And so, Mr. Scott, jump over to you, sir. We're talking about what's the importance of having a schedule for yourself and your business, sir.
This is so on point. I'm actually putting together a training. I've been asked by Mr. White to do a training this weekend, and part of it is going to be in reference to scheduling. You guys, Daryl, man, you said a couple things that just stand out. Somebody hashtag no blank spaces. That is so powerful. I don't want us to mull over that. And I love what Mr. Jenkins said, and I have the same thing as well. I have my digital calendar that I utilize in my phone as my reminder. That's my secretary.
I got that from you, sir.
My man, yes, sir. My phone is my secretary. And my phone lets me know when I have appointments. Hey, Mr. Scott, you have an appointment today, right? But guess who has to program it into the reminder? I have to do that. But I also have a physical calendar that I have in front of me that I write down things that I need to do within the schedule. And so I went over this with you guys. Daryl told you all where the training was. So if you were on Hot Saturday, you know where I'm going with this, because Roger's letting us know that we need a schedule, but some of you don't know what to do. And I love the concept of thinking like a CEO, but some of us who've never been a CEO don't know how to think like a CEO. So until you have been around us long enough, until you've read some of the books that we've encouraged you to read, it's going to take you a minute to start to develop the CEO mentality. So until that time frame comes, you should be working your business like a job. But you should be an amazing employee at the business that you own. You work for you. Right. So now, but what should I be doing? Like, if whoever's on tonight, 99% of us on here tonight have a job. We know tomorrow morning, some of y'all are off already. That's why some of y'all ain't on here tonight, because y'all already off. You don't go back to work. I'm on vacation, right? You don't go back to work till January the 15th. Some of y'all, I get it. No hate, no hate, no shade either. But if you work tomorrow, you already know what you have to do tomorrow, most likely, right? The boss of that company, the CEO of the company that we work for, they've already laid out the day-to-day activity that needs to be done. So there's no thinking. So part of the challenge is you're thinking because you don't have any assignments. You don't have any work to do. So that's why I developed the 6 activities to help you all to determine, what should I be doing? Like, what do I put in my calendar? Number 1, prospecting and inviting. If you have a calendar, there should be space and time allocated to prospect and invite. Marketing, following up, right? Now, this is going to prompt us to do some things because we have the activities necessary to dump into the day-to-day. Team building, which is helping your team that you've built. Personal and professional development. Working on your list or your database, right? Thank you. Who said that? Mickey, new goal builder, Hot Saturday, and Brenda. Oh, y'all said it. Great. So that's what's important, because now we've given you the day-to-day activities. We've given you the job to do. So now it's our responsibility as workers here in the business that we opened, to be great employees and do these things. You know why? Why we're not happy in our business? We're sad. Yeah, I know I love acronyms, right? We're sad because we have no schedule, no accountability, and no discipline.
One more time.
No schedule, no accountability, and no discipline. So we don't have those 3 things, and our business is sad.
No schedule, no accountability, and no discipline. My goodness, how powerful that is, sir. And wow, man, this is a great segue what we're talking about right now into what I want to talk about next. I want to talk about having hours of operation, knowing your hours of operation. That's going to also help you have your process each day, each week, each month, and during the entire year, having the hours of operation. Like, when you're working your business, you should not be answering the phone, talk about power, talk about who made the last jump shot, talk about I got a date, want to talk to the honey bun boo boo. All that stuff has to put that on hold, because there's a lot of times where some of us that's watching tonight on your job, you can't even take your phone in, because that's just the process. That's the logistics that you have on your job. You can't take your phone, you can't be on your phone at all. You can't talk to nobody, right? So we need to treat our business with the same respect as we treat our jobs, right? And like Mr. Scott said, work your business like a job until you get to the places where you have some duplication going on. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you have your hours of operations in place. And I'm going to talk about that now. I'm going to go back to Mr. Scott real quick, and let's talk about hours of operations. You're on mute, sir.
What is it? I'm hearing them sleigh bells ringing. Hours of operation. I think you touched on it earlier. As far as we have a time to do everything else, most of us have a time to get up in the morning because we're accountable and we're disciplined as it relates to the job that we work at. So someone else's business, we're making sure that they're not sad, right? According to their business, because they've given us a schedule, right? We're accountable to some type of a manager or what have you. And then we're there regularly from a discipline perspective, because if we don't go, we don't get paid. Same thing happens here in this business, right? If we don't go, we don't work, we don't get paid. That's just what happens. So we don't set that schedule. The challenge is, as an entrepreneur, it is more about planting seed and growing our own food, as you all hear me say all the time, versus going to the grocery store and picking food that someone else has already grown. So the effort that it takes, when I have a grocery store across the street, when I walk over there and when I go to the store, it may take me 30, 45 minutes, right? Because I got to go, because if Imani goes, she's been there for 3 hours. No, I'm just playing. 30, 45 minutes, right? I go to, because I'm going to get whatever's on the list. I'm going there, but she like, ding, 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 looking around. Like, what you looking around for? You know what you're here for, woman. But I go in there 30, 45 minutes. I pick up the asparagus and whatever, the apples or what have you, or the turkey meat, whatever. I go get that. It's done. I have it. But if I take 30, 45 minutes to plant seed, I won't have the harvest right away. I won't. But I can, when that harvest does come to fruition from the seed that I've sown, it's so much, I can appreciate it so much more because I grew it myself. I know that it hasn't been tainted, right? I know that the soil is clean. I know that now I can partake of this. It's healthier for me because I grew it myself. Yes, it takes a lot more time. Yes, it takes a lot more effort, but the results are so much sweeter. I can remember being a young boy down in South Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I'm from the city. So growing up being from the city, I'm from uptown, Northwest DC. I'd never seen an apple tree. I didn't even know apple trees existed. All I know, if you want an apple, you go to the grocery store and get an apple. But I remember my very first time seeing an apple tree, and them jokers was falling off the tree, like meat fall off the bone. Them jokers was falling off the tree, and I'll never forget the moment. right. We gotta look out, right, D? I went over and I picked up, and it was the best apple I've ever had in my entire life. I still can taste the apple today, and I had to be like 8, 9, 10 years old. And I say that to say, when you get that residual income that's coming into that household from the seeds that you've sown, from the time that you put in, as difficult as it may be, my God, I'm telling you, it's so much sweeter than what you're doing on the quote unquote 9 to 5. And we're not hating jobs. We're not putting it down. I promise you that. Okay. Promise you that. But I want you to get some of them sweet apples as well. Just a little bit.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I tell you, one of my mentors, he's in another company. I'll say his name, Brian Crothers. Some of you might be familiar with him. Mm-hmm. He was someone who I learned from back in the 90s. He said, if you really understood residual income, you would go through a brick wall, which is behind Precious God right now, to get the residual. Because it's all about being able to position yourself to have some income coming in spite of you having to get it as you get older. And God forbid, if you get it while you're younger, oh my goodness. And so one of the things that I have on my schedule for this week, and I'm coming to you there in a second, this Friday, around 4 or 5 o'clock, Roger Lillard Jr. and I, he's got some business cards made. We're going to the mall, right? I'm going to dress nice, but warm. And we're going to pass out some business cards, right? And get some names and numbers, do some belly to belly, which is old school. But guess what? It works. People are doing what? They're shopping. So there's a lot of people out right now. So it makes sense for us to go while they're out and they're in a great spirit of Christmas. Hey, here's the best Christmas gift you're ever going to receive. Take this business card. By the way, what's your name? So I can see some information, name and number. So that's what we're going to do on Friday. So Mr. Derek Two Jackets Jenkins, I know you're serious about your hours of operation, sir. So share with us, man, what the importance of having your hours of operation.
I think the ease of it for me is I can work both my business and my job simultaneously because I work remotely. Most people aren't in a position to do that, so they find it a struggle to create hours of operation for them to work within. So when they get off work, they're so tired, they're drained, they got to cook dinner. So for them, everything gets pushed down, and then it's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, right? It never gets done. For me, when I'm up at 7:30 in the morning, starting with the IMV, making sure that the team is on at 8, and then I'm going into my work day, and in between I'm handling my client calls, and then I'm over here with some 3-way calls for some folks, and then we scheduling PBRs and launch calls. So we're doing the business throughout the day. I'm having coaching conversations. So again, all of these things are in my day, and I can shut it off at a certain hour because I've created a space within. They said I got 3 brains.
I was just looking at that.
It's not that I got 3 brains, but you got to be able to position yourself to do what's needed, right? You got to figure out. I think again, Mr. Scott said something earlier about people not having been in a CEO position, so therefore they don't know, how to be a CEO. Well, the reality is if you owned a business, right? How would you want that to be ran? What do you want to start? Because I think that's what people don't do a lot of the activity. Because it's not that they don't know what to do. They just haven't decided that they were going to start taking control of their business and stop waiting for somebody else to pour gasoline on that fire. Instead, they need to be able to create it for themselves. Right? Remember back in the day when y'all was in Boy Scout, you had to start that fire with the sticks, and you out there at the camp, right? You had to make something.
My first week.
They probably put you out, Roger.
That makes 2 of us. I
couldn't do it. Outside in the bugs and the wilderness and lighting fires with the wood and sticks. I just wasn't for me. I was, grew up in this. Not the.
But the point that I'm making is there was an attempt, right? You made an attempt. It didn't work. And so you was like, okay, look, well, this ain't for me, so I'm out. And guess what you did? You did exactly what people do in the business. It ain't work for them. They couldn't get the sticks to light the match. Now they out. You got to figure out how to reroute that sometimes. And I always say, as a business owner, you got to go back to the drawing board. When something doesn't work, you got to go evaluate what that thing was that didn't work and figure out, okay, creatively, what can I do to get the result that I desire? I always say, it's more than one way to get home. Right? If you go that same path, matter of fact, Preston, I remember you told me if it's traffic going this way, go back this way by the safe way. It's a back road. It's always more than one way to get home. We're so fixated with doing things the same way over and over again. Get creative. When something doesn't work, go to the drawing board and figure it out. So back to the whole schedule, your daily operation. I think about that like in its entirety. Like I sometimes I go to bed till 10, 11 o'clock at night because there's things I got to check off my list, or I got to wait for certain people for me to have those conversations. So I need for people to understand, like as a business owner, think like a CEO. If you don't know, create your ideal CEO position and run your business like that CEO.
I love it.
Mr. Lillard, I need to jump in here if you don't mind, because I literally have to get ready to jump off to help to prepare for the PBR on tonight. I want to throw this in here because as it relates to scheduling. You told me something a few years ago that you had gotten from somebody that, we work out 9 to 5, but what do we do from 5 to 9? Like, what does that look like? What is our 5 to 9 or whatever your hours are? And I just thought about this for the first time, because maybe this is why some folks in the military do well. Because when I was in the Air Force, we worked 24 hours a day. Like you sign a contract in the military that you at work 24/7. Like that's in your contract. But they have duty hours. Okay. Duty hours are where you are to report to whatever your duty is, whatever your job is in the military. Mine was 7:30 to 4:30. Those were my duty hours. But once I got off work, I was always on call. So I'm like that in this business where I'm always a networker. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Networking and building is always on my mind, right? And with Daryl, for some folks who are hybrid, I'm sure that both booking and building always on their minds. They're always looking and seeking for. If they're in the crowd and they hear somebody say, "I haven't had a vacation in 3 years," it's just like they're going, "I got you," right? Or they hear somebody say, "Man, I need some extra money." It's just like we got antennas up, always seeking. That's all the time. But we also have duty hours where we intentionally work the business. So what does that look like for you? What time did you get off work? Right? When I was working this business part-time, I had an hour.
I was actually going there. That's why I was going.
Yeah, because you used to see me doing this because you worked across the street. I had an hour lunch break where I would work my business during that hour. And then I had 2 15-minute breaks. Sometimes I would figure out a way to get more than 2 15-minute breaks, but I had 2 15-minute breaks, and I would do 3 ways, whatever I had to do. People were taking smoke breaks. I was taking business breaks, right, to work my business. And then when I got off work, I'm on duty as a network. It's time. I'm in the car on my way home. I got off at 4:30. I would try to schedule 3 ways. Some of y'all who work with me know this. Matter of fact, Dr. Leslie, a 3-way that I did for her to get her in the business is when I scheduled at 4:45, thinking I was going to be, she had me in that building.
I remember that, Daryl.
God, that was a long time. Right. 4:45, I would schedule my 3 ways because I knew I got off at 4:30 and I'm going to have time to do that. And then when I got home, it's time to work the business, ladies and gentlemen. So this is as they say on the IMV, what do they say, mature? What's the word they use, D Nice? This is what do they say? Strong. Oh, mature. This is responsible. That's what they say. This is a responsible Zoom. Very responsible because this is mature information that if we take this and apply this to our everyday, and I'm gonna leave out with this, apply this to your everyday starting tomorrow, and you will surely have an amazing 2024. Not because we're saying it and excited and all that. Boom, we popping bottles on the first of the. That's cool, but this stuff right here, done every single day for 365 days. By this time next year, we will see the results that we're seeking. So thank you all for having me on. Salute to Mr. E. Cliff. I hope I did well in his steed on today, standing in for the main man. But I appreciate you all. I'm gonna jump over here, help these folks to have a successful Zoom on tonight. See y'all soon.
Thank you very much, sir. 2 things, you all, that I heard out of that, and he's right. I used to work across. Well, we worked in the same little cul-de-sac at Andrews Air Force Base. I mean, walking distance. I could walk over to his job. He could walk over mine for at least 3 to 5 years. That was for a while. And so, but what I remember that, like he said, I would hit him. I would say, let's see, I got a 3-way at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, which I was asking what was his schedule like so I can get him on the phone with the prospect, right? And then, like he said, he would get off and go home, and we working. So 2 things I heard. Number 1 is hunger. Listen, he's a 4-star director because he was hungry and he wanted to change his situation, whatever it may have been to any of us. But he's a 4-star director. And then the second thing I heard is sacrifice. He sacrificed. I would say now, some of you on here know that I love go-go music. Now, I used to play in a band years ago. I think I was 19 or 20, a little far back. But anyway, long story short is I would ask him, hey, let's go to, me and Eric, let's go see such and such, just to get out. And he was like, I can't. And so that grind, that determination, that sacrifice, and that discipline, it spilled over into everybody that's on here watching tonight. That's why he's where he is. And so there's going to take some of that discipline and sacrifice to get to where he is. And we're almost done. We got 6 minutes. I'm going to be real quick. And Daryl, I know you love this one right here. I wish we hadn't Scott on for this one, but we got 6 minutes. Who's in your ear in 2024? Who is in your ear? Like, I think right now that IMV, they're talking about scatter bombs, right? You have to be careful what's going in here, in your ears. Because when you're focused, as you start having success in your business, what's going to happen is you're going to have the naysayers. You still doing that? How much money you made? They ain't made no money in this industry ever. And what helps me out is my business partner that I work with is earning, okay, I could say 15,000 a month, because that's what 4-star director, if you know the compensation plan, that's the floor for 4-star director. 15,000 a month. Why am I listening to a naysayer who's making $25 an hour? I'm not knocking jobs. I'm just saying the naysayers that are going to say negative things in your ear, and you even have people on the inside, right, that are just negative. That's just part of the business. So, Daryl, let's talk about the importance of your who's in your ear, how important that is into going into 2024. That we got to remove some of them people, to keep you focused on your business in 2024.
Rob, that's good, because you're going to always have negative Neds and negative Nancys. And I used to, when I first started this business, my focus, my hashtag used to be, I am the evidence. Because what I wanted for people, those naysayers, those people who doubted, people who, when I presented the opportunity to them, who didn't believe in what it was I was doing, I would rather show you than argue with you about it. So that's why I tell people, a lot of that fueled my drive. So I could show people that I came from Southeast DC. I went to Ballou High School.
You from DC?
I am very much so from DC.
I knew that.
Born and raised Southeast DC all day. But my point is the people who I grew up with, who may have been introduced to an opportunity like this. And again, I tell people all the time, people who get exposed to network marketing for whatever reason, early on, they decide that they got sold a dream. It didn't materialize. So now all network marketing entities are scams. So they already have a bitter taste in their mouth. And as a result, when you present them with the opportunity, they're still salty about something that happened. They invested money into. It happened to me. But I decided, you know what, let me just step out on faith. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, it ain't the $500 I paid to get another opportunity where I only made probably $100 ever in my whole entire life there. And this one caught my attention, and it positioned me to be able to do more. So for me to have all of the accolades, all of the awards, the 2 jackets, being on stages, those are things that I show people as the real evidence. I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I'm here to show you that what you didn't think was going to happen can absolutely happen. When that 3-star banner go up and and they got my picture on it, for people who still doubted that, it's going to happen, and I'm gonna prove it. So at the end of the day, you do have to listen to it. And like you said, even people that are inside your sideline business partners are negative. I hear so many people, I don't get no help. My sponsors don't do this and this, that, and the third. And I keep telling them, well, your sponsor don't know travel, so they can't help you there. So, but are you here where you can get connected to a resource, right? Are you doing your due diligence? Because sometimes we got to isolate ourselves from people, and we got to focus on us, focus on what we want to build, and then who is going to help us get to the next level, and who can we help? Because that's the reality of it. Listen to those positive things. That the IMV is so important, because a lot of people who suffer with that poor mentality from those scatter bombs and the people in their ears and the negative Neds and Nancys, they hear all of those examples being combated on the IMV. It's the reason why every single day in 2 different places in my team for the last 5 years, they get the same message about the IMV at 7:35 every single morning. It's not because I need to do it, because I'm on the call. But if you having those challenges in your business, don't you think you need to be you can get some positive reinforcement, some place where you can help move you aside from that negativeness that you've been hearing? That's the reason why it's done. So if you don't take advantage of it, to listen to some positive things that's going in, to help shape the way that you're thinking about your business, to help you move out of that rut, that quicksand that your feet are planted in, and put you in a position for you to do well, then maybe you deserve to be stuck. You got to get away from the people who are bringing you down. It's like the crab in the barrel mentality. It's in your household sometimes. They lay in the bed next to you, the negative folks, right? I heard somebody tell me, I got to prove this to my husband that it works. I said, well, what better proof there is than a check? So if you work to get the check, what more do you need to prove to them? I'm just saying.
This is good stuff, powerful nuggets. I mean, proof is in the pudding. Get the check, y'all. If you want, for the Debbie Downers and for the negative people, I'm telling you, just get a check. That's the best way to let them know that you're having success. But I would do real quick. I'm gonna touch on the IMV real quick and get off of here. In August, when I got back from convention, Mr. Scott, he told me, he said, listen, man, and he didn't beat me up about it. He would just share with me, man, the IMV, man, get your people on the IMV. It's IMV. And he would just mention it to me, casually over the years. And so when I got back from convention, I decided in my mind, made a decision to put in my schedule every day, Monday through Friday, to jump on the IMV. So what I've done now is, since August, I'm on my stationary. I'm riding, right? I'm doing like 2.5, 3 miles while I'm listening to the IMV. So two things are happening. I'm getting motivated and I'm losing weight. 32 pounds later, because of the IMV, I listened to that. Now I got something positive going in. So my day now, I feel better now about my day. I've got some positive energy. So when I'm going out and sharing the opportunity, they feel my energy. And so you're right, Mr. Jenkins, the IMV is powerful. Guess what? And if you miss it, it's in the back office, information center, go to library, and you can listen to all the way back to probably the rest of the year, but they're back there. If you miss it, you can go back there and listen to it. I highly recommend it. That's it. That's all, you all. Thanks for being on here. This is our very last of the year. Can y'all hear that? It's a Merry Christmas coming up. And thanks for being on here with us. We had special guests, none other than our 4-star director, Mr. Professor Scott, snuck in on us. I didn't know we were going to be on here till this afternoon. And Mr. Daryl Jenkins, I want to thank you, sir, for helping us have a successful year with What's the Word Wednesday. And he didn't have to, you all, but he put it on his schedule. Hold up. Hey, that's Southeast style right there. They don't know about that, Daryl. Let them know. But nevertheless, man, hey, let's make 2024. Let's get some more. Let's have the greatest year of our life, like our CEO, Mr. Donald Bradley said. Let's make this the best year coming up in our entire lives. Let's go out and change lives, not just in your neighborhood, but around the world. Will be. I know I can sing, y'all. Don't hate on the vocals. Happy Merry Christmas, everybody. Hey, Daryl, take care. God bless. Let's go, Platinum Network. Let's get it done. Deuces.